He is now praying for the end of time to arrive and relieve him from his obligation.
Jesus Christ, I know how he feels.
Well,
Facts on tracks. We're gonna break some vinyl down from the front to the back with facts on tracks.
Showtime. Welcome to Breaking Vinyl. I'm your host, Des, a.k.a. Johnny Fever. And as always, I'm joined by my three co-hosts. First up, the podcaster coming through in high fidelity, Evil Ed.
You know, I'm getting tired of you, Des.
And the podcaster playing the deep cuts, Dangerous Dave.
hey. How are you?
And last but not least, off the Vegas Strip, the podcaster with a degree in rock and roll and a haircut that kills, Eganstein.
Hey.
All right. As always, the mission of this show is for us to introduce each other and you, the listeners, to albums and bands which you may never have heard before, while also discussing the classics. And on occasion, we will ruthlessly insult each other's musical taste. So sit back and enjoy the show. Tonight, we will be discussing Bat Out of Hell, the debut studio album by Meatloaf, produced by Todd Rundgren, released on October 21st of 1977 by Epic Records. The album peaked at the number 14 spot on the U.S. Billboard 200. I cannot fucking believe this album didn't produce a number one hit. Are you fucking kidding me? The band's lineup was as followed. The mighty Meatloaf on lead vocals and backing vocals. Todd Rundgren, producer and guitar player. Not sure that was a great choice. Roy Bittan, piano and keyboards. Steve Margocious, piano. Cheryl Hardwick, piano. Repeat. Jim Steinman, keyboards. Roger Powell, synthesizer. Lots of keys on this album. Edgar Winker, saxophone. Max Weinberg, drums on track 1, 2, and 6. John Willie Wilcox, drums 4, 5, and 7. Kasem Sultan on the bass. The mighty Phil Rizzuto doing the play-by-play on track 6. And Ellen Foley, she's a fucking beast. Lead vocals, backing vocals, especially on track 6. All right, boys. Let's do some quick band facts on this one. I will get us started. The album cover was designed by the late illustrator and comic book artist Richard Corbin. The cover for Bat Out of Hell is an orgiastic ode to fantasy and sci-fi pulp paperbacks and a fever dream blown up to LP size. That's what I got. Dave, what do you got on this mighty album?
Yeah, I'll tag up on that one. Richard Corbin is best known for his comics featured in Heavy Metal Magazine. And in 2001, Q Magazine listed the cover as number 71 in its list of 100 best record covers of all time.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I agree.
All right, so I have a bunch more. It is one of the biggest selling albums of all time with a reported 43 million copies sold. 2 years before this album came out, Meatloaf had appeared in the Rocky Horror Picture Show as Eddie and on the film soundtrack. Before that, he played the dual Eddie / Dr. Scott role in the Broadway and LA versions of the Rocky Horror Show, and also appears on the Roxy Cast soundtrack album.
Nice. That fact is going to actually play into some of my notes, this Rocky Horror theme.
And I got one more. Meatloaf appeared as the musical guest on Saturday Night Live in 1978 with host Christopher Lee, actually with Kiss's Bruce Kulick on rhythm guitar, and in 1981 with host Tim Curry.
Poor Bruce Kulick with his gimpy hand. It ended his career early. Sorry.
What happened with his hand? You're
I
thinking
don't
of
know,
Mark St. John.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
I
you're
thought
thinking
it
of
was.
Mark. Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say.
so Kulik just had the fucking the chin dimple and the gimpy hair. Okay.
I just got an ad saying Kulik's doing some sort of like a show or something,
Oh, okay.
like the Kiss Expo or something.
Okay. Well,
But
then I would
yeah.
like to apologize to Kulik and St. James. Okay. Ed, what do you got on this one? Anything good?
Well, Meatloaf's real name is Marvin Lee Aday.
I wish I didn't know that. Thank you.
Something I really found amazing is the album still sells about 200,000 copies a year.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
That is just crazy. I started to go through like the process of how this got popular because everything that I was reading kept saying how no one liked it, no one wanted it, no record company wanted to deal with it. And it's funny because it first gained popularity in the UK and Australia, and
Wow.
it just was struggling in the US to receive any airplay. And then it eventually get into Canada, where CBS radio started playing it to see what type of response they would get, and the phones just went crazy.
Fucking Canada.
Fucking candy. But Ed,
Love
here's the
Canadians.
problem. It's hard to put this album on the radio because every song is fucking 14 minutes long.
Yeah, well, that's just it. The reason it got airplay in Canada, it was on a show that a guy does like epic long albums and stories. So he does like history of musicians and stuff. So he did like an Elvis one. So it fit his playbill
Right.
perfectly. And so many tracks just lit up the phones. So CBS in the US was only distributing the album. So they started to get more airplay and eventually became the album it is today. Let's see. Oh, I got another one. Who mentioned Fever Dreams earlier? You, Des?
That was, it was the album cover. It was supposed to be like a fever dream.
Well, also, the whole thing is a premise of a musical named Neverland, which is obviously Peter Pan.
Right.
But it's supposed to be a futuristic rock version of Peter Pan. That who's the guy who wrote this album? I can't remember his name now. I just went blank. Jim Steinman. Yeah, Jim Steinman. Thank you. He started writing this musical in 1974, and he didn't complete it until 2017.
Classic.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh yeah, that's what I got.
Typical. Steve, what do you got on this one?
Wow, I kind of went light figuring you guys were going to go heavy on some of these facts. So I thought it was kind of funny, the Todd Rundgren thing, saying that he found the album hilarious. That's why he agreed to produce it, because it was he thought it was a parody on Springsteen.
Yeah.
And I totally get it, Fact number 2, Edgar Winter plays a mean fucking saxophone.
Oh, yeah.
I did not realize that until this. I was like very impressed. And fact number 3 for me was Jim Steinman wrote some mega fucking hits, like Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Oh,
and, It's All Coming Back to Me Now by Celine Dion. And man, just some mega fucking monster hits.
So Meatloaf didn't write the lyrics for this album?
None. He's got no writing credits on this, right, Dave?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was all written by Jim, but, they sort of collaborated together.
Yeah.
So it was all credited to Jim, but, they kind of worked together for a long time, hashing out the songs and stuff. So
this will change some of my comments then.
Okay.
Like
I got one more fact after that if you guys want some more facts.
Go, rock it.
Definitely.
All right. You all set, Faye?
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, we touched on it before, but the project was initially rejected by every label it was pitched to, including one uncomfortable meeting with the legendary Clive Davis, whose response to the length and unusual structure and content of the songs was so negative that he told Steinman he should buy some rock records and learn how to write songs.
Oh shit.
Can you imagine having Clive Davis say that to you?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
god.
I'd probably go kill myself if that's what I was trying to do for a living, you know? So
Oh.
good.
Honestly, like the story of this album is just never give up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Pretty much.
is that it, Dave? You got anything else?
Yeah, and also that Saturday Night Live performance in 1978. Besides Bruce Kulick on rhythm guitar, the main guitar player was his brother Bob Kulick, who also was sort of Kiss adjacent, who ghost played on some Kiss albums.
Nice. Nice.
But
All right,
that's
let's
kind of
do
real deep cuts.
Those are some deep cuts for sure. Let's
Yeah.
do some opening thoughts on this one. So I hadn't listened to this album literally in forever, and I wasn't even sure if I had ever heard this album all the way through. But once I put it on, I instantly remembered every single song. So I remember being about maybe 8 or 9 when I first heard this album. A neighbor had it, and it was because of the album cover. I mean, when you're 9 years old, you look at his album cover and go, holy shit. And we listened to it. And I don't know if we liked it, but we listened to it because we loved the cover. And I remembered all of it. I didn't remember it being a rock opera like it was, because that's what it is. It's a rock opera. And it has these super extended arrangements that are really unusual. The only album I can really think of that we did that kind of reminded me of this was maybe like Welcome to My Nightmare. But this was like a lot even more extreme of that, like extended arrangements and rock opera feel. And I was saying this to my wife because my wife used to perform in Rocky Horror Picture Show down in Harvard Square or wherever the fuck it was in Boston. And I was saying it almost felt like the soundtrack to that. Like I could almost imagine taking the soundtrack out of Rocky Horror Picture Show and just throwing this up in there, and I think it would probably work just fine. And that's just kind of what it felt like to me, like a movie soundtrack for like a really fucking freaky movie. So that's what I got. And let's find out if that's a good thing. Dave, had you listened to this album all the way through before picking it for the podcast?
I sure have. I've listened to this many, many times. Not entirely sure where I first picked it up. I do remember having the 8-track tape that belonged to my sister, but then I picked it up on vinyl probably in the late 80s. You know, I was about 16, perfect age to experience this album. I bought it at Vintage Vinyl in Fords, New Jersey. Unfortunately,
Nice.
no longer there. I listened and was hooked by the dynamic range of the music from hard rock to the lightest ballad. It's theatrical for sure. Shortly after, I got into Rocky Horror, and then during his 90s resurgence, and yes, that was at Harvard Square. I used to work there too.
Oh, cool. Did you know Delin then?
No,
No. Okay.
but
Did you know Gene Dante played? So you knew Gene. Did you know Tony, who does the podcast over at Hey? Did you ever see that movie?
no.
No. Okay. But you did know Gene. Gene's awesome. Not only is Gene a great Frank, but he's also a total rock star with his fucking Gene Dante and the fucking what is
Starlets.
it? The Starlets. Really cool.
Yeah.
Check them out on YouTube.
Yeah, they're a great
keep
band.
going. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so shortly after I got into Rocky Horror, and then during Meatloaf's 90s resurgence, he did an in-store appearance at the Big Strawberries record shop on Boylston Street in Boston, near the Prudential Center. I was working there at the time. I had him sign my Bat Out of Hell CD. I still have it. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right. And were you actually in the show, Rocky Horror?
No, I was a props guy.
Oh, cool. Cool.
I just helped out.
I could see you playing the part of the fucking loaf. Sure. All right, Ed, what do you got?
I've heard it before. I don't remember hearing it before because I know exactly where I was when I first heard it. I was hanging out on a place called Dale Street, which was right down the street from where I lived.
Is that in the Fenway?
What's that? Yeah. And let's just say I was significantly younger than everyone else I was hanging out with, and was smoking a lot of herb. When I remember the guys going, "Hey, we got to listen to this," and they just put the cassette in someone's radio, and I just remember hearing it, going, "Wow, this is insane."
Nice.
But funny because listening to it over and over this week, it. I love that it's basically someone wrote a musical, songs from a musical. A lot of them had success, like, and they shouldn't have because no one writes rock musical songs.
Right.
But yeah, the more I kept listening to it, the more I'm like, it's a musical. It's
Yeah.
a soundtrack.
It is.
I didn't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, this would have been better if it was the soundtrack to a movie, like kind of like Grease,
Yeah.
like that album's better if you have seen the movie Grease, obviously.
Oh, yes.
Or like I said, Rocky Horror Picture Show, it kind of has that vibe to me. Honestly, it's a 7-song album. When I saw it, I was like, oh, 7 songs. Give me a nice quick fuck it. No.
Yeah.
But there's only 2 songs on this that for me were kind of a slog. And they only stand out to me because they really just sound like Elton John songs. And as much respect as I have for Elton John, it's not really my flavor. It's a little too soft in the storytelling department, if you will. But I give him huge props. I'll put him out there. It's like Bruce Springsteen, Billy Joel, Elton John. These are guys that can tell stories in their songs like nobody can. And it's a fucking art. And these guys are masters of it. And there's 2 songs like that on this album. They kind of, Pete, what do you got? Did you ever hear it before preparing for the podcast?
No, I haven't. I mean, I've heard probably half of it anyway, but you guys got to remember going into this, I fucking hate musicals. I fucking can't stand Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, are you fucking insane?
This
What's wrong with you?
Seriously.
So, but I went in with open ears. Okay. And I went down this Reddit rabbit hole. And one thing I love about Reddit, as Ed knows, is the comments. And there was a classic rock Reddit about Meatloaf, and says this guy, Blue and More Blue, he says, he played at my university in the early 90s, blah, blah, blah. I got a free ticket for helping him with the load in along with some of the band. And then this guy, Salty Candy Man, follows up with immediately, whose load was it, and did you take it on the chin? So I'm like, yes, this is fucking awesome. So the guy, this blue guy, responds. He says, not sure, but he said that he ain't gonna squash it and I don't need to wash it. And then I was like, this is fucking awesome. This is awesome right here. And the Salty Candy Man just responds right back, says, that was brilliant. You are now my friend. And that's how our relationships are formed. So, yeah.
Shit.
So good. But the title of the thread I went down was, I used to hate Meatloaf. Now I realize I was wrong.
Okay.
That's why I read it, because I'm the same exact way on the first half of that. I haven't listened to Meatloaf in forever. Like every time I hear it, I'm like, next. Punch radio, get the fuck off, whatever. So I gave it an opportunity. Have I changed? We'll find out.
Have you ever legit sat down and watched Rocky Horror Picture Show with an open mind from beginning to end?
Yes.
And you don't like it?
Yes, I do not like it.
That's
Have you ever watched it while high?
Have you ever watched it on a gummy?
Definitely not on a gummy, because I stopped watching it long before gummies came out. So, yeah.
Okay.
It's a little better when you're high.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
Noted.
Let's do the Fast Five. So I had a nice idea. I was gonna do you're a gynecologist for the stars, pick your fucking top patient. But I thought that might be a little misogynistic, so we're gonna go with something different tonight. So the Fast Five tonight is, I actually wrote this one out about 3 months ago, and I've been pushing it on both podcasts and nobody's bitten. So tonight I'm just jamming it down your throats. You're a doctor, pick your practice. Okay? You're a doctor, pick your practice. Number 1, you're a proctologist that specializes in the treatment of bleeding hemorrhoids with oily discharge, or a gynecologist that specializes in the removal of rampant venereal warts. Dave, which doctor are you going to be?
Pass.
No.
Can I drop out of medical school?
Nope. You're just about to fucking put your name in the phone book. What are you doing?
I don't know. I guess the gyno.
Okay. That's sick. You're a sick person. Ed, which one are you going to be? You're going to be the proctologist that specializes in bleeding hemorrhoids with oily discharge, or a gynecologist that specializes in the removal of rampant venereal warts? Which one are you going to do?
Definitely the proctologist.
Okay.
Dang.
And Fee, what are you doing?
I should have known it. I'm with Dave on this one. I'll take the vaginas. Yeah.
The correct answer is the proctologist, because Cosmo Kramer was the ass man, and so am I. Okay. Number 2, a doctor that specializes in it. A doctor that specializes in adult circumcisions, or a doctor that specializes in the treatment of rare anal fungus. Sorry, Dave, which one?
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from the butt again and go with the circumcisions.
Dude, I'm such a fucking idiot. I'm not laughing at the question. I'm just laughing at how dumb this is. Ed, go. Which one?
I'll stick with the proctologist.
Okay. And Fee, what are you doing?
I'm cutting dicks. Yeah.
Okay, the correct answer is circumcisions. Okay. Number 3, a dentist that specializes in vomit-inducing gingivitis, or a podiatrist that specializes in the surgical removal of rotten toenails. Dave, which one are you doing?
Oh, dentist for sure.
Okay.
No feet.
Ed, I hate feet too. I hate feet. Go ahead.
Dentist. Yeah, I don't like feet.
Ed. Okay, and feet.
I'm going with the toes. Give me the toes.
And the correct answer is the toes. It's funny because where I fucking do my martial arts, everybody has bare feet. I mean, it's jujitsu, so we're rolling around with bare feet. I wear these special like fucking shoes, and they're always like, "Why don't you go barefoot?" I'm like, "Because feet are personal. I don't want my naked feet touching your naked feet. It's fucking weird. I hate feet. Like when I'm in a restaurant and there's some fucking idiot sitting next to me with his flip flops on, and I can see his fucking stinky, hairy feet when I'm trying to eat my food. Find it extremely offensive."
Oh, I can't
Seriously,
wait
Des.
to go to dinner with you during the summer.
Oh God, with
You
your
fucking
fucking
crack
hairy
me up,
hobbit
dude.
feet. Oh God, Fee, you expose your feet in the summer on a regular basis?
Yeah, we don't really get a choice out here. But it
Ugh.
just, you kind of remind me of my relationship with my wife, where she'll be like, "You won't take a fucking Tylenol, but you'll eat like a goo ball homemade by some hippie out of his trunk at a Fish concert." And I'm like, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Fee,
So,
please tell the listeners what a goo ball is at a Fish concert, because I have no idea.
basically kind of like a big Rice Krispie treat that's full of some sort of drug, whether it be like THC or, you know.
Get the fuck
yeah.
out of here. You've eaten fucking laced Rice Krispie treats out of a stranger's van at a Fish concert?
Several times, yes.
Dude, do you know what happens? You wake up in a hotel with no liver. Okay? That's what happens when you do that. You're lucky you haven't been pieced out on the black market.
I may be doing that in 2 weeks when I see fish. So,
Okay. So the correct answer was feet. Number 4. Would you rather be an eye doctor that specializes in extreme cases of conjunctivitis, or a dermatologist that specializes in the draining of fluid from giant neck goiters? Dave.
Oh, yuck. I guess the dermatologist.
Okay. And Ed, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm going with the dermatologist.
So you guys want to drain fucking fluid from giant neck goiters?
If you haven't
yes.
realized, I'm staying away
Yes.
from anything that's contagious.
Oh, I didn't notice that. You're a smart man. Fee, what do you got?
yeah, I'm going with the neck too. Yeah, no fucking way
yeah,
I'm touching an eyeball.
The correct answer is the neck goiters. I mean, who doesn't like to squeeze a little pus out of a swollen area? Number 5, a doctor that specializes in rare flesh-eating bug bites, or a doctor that specializes in the removal of tapeworm. Dave, what are you doing?
Oh, flesh-eating bug bites.
Ooh,
Yeah, right.
excited about that.
Necrosis of the skin. It's badass.
This sounds like Dave has actually thought about, this was a second career choice that he didn't follow up on. Like, you know a little too much about that. Okay. Ed.
Again, staying away from shit I can catch, so I'm going with the tapeworm.
Fucking tapeworm is disgusting. Fee, what do you got?
Dude, you can catch the tapeworm too.
You don't
Yeah,
want a
fuck that.
tapeworm.
No, I don't want anything to do with a damn tapeworm. I'll take the necrosis, like Dave was saying. Yeah.
Don't, can you spell necrosis?
necrosis.
100% that's right. Supermodels actually eat tapeworms on purpose. Okay. I don't
Disgusting.
know if that's true.
No.
Maybe.
You're just throwing shit out there. No.
Yeah, sounds right.
People did in
Okay,
the 1800s, though.
to lose weight?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. They used to sell like a tapeworm head like in a pill to as a weight loss thing, and then
shit.
people would eat it, and you'd have a tapeworm, and
Get real
Die.
skinny and die?
Yeah.
yeah, or
Did they
you
have?
know,
Did,
it would get
since
removed.
since you know about this, did they have a cure for the tapeworm that they were selling people when you were done losing weight?
I'm not sure about that. You may have to go to a doctor or
They used
drink,
to roll it out.
No, I from
drink
what I
some poison or
understand,
something.
no, from what I understand, they put a thing in your mouth that holds it open, and they put a piece of meat right in front of your mouth, and they starve you for like a week, and then the tapeworm actually no, this is true. Then the tapeworm actually comes up and goes to get the meat, and they pull it out of your mouth. That's how they get rid of it. Look it up. Google it. Google it.
I'm gonna.
Google it.
Definitely not Googling that.
No. Nope.
Next thing you know, you get a cop on your door. Okay, let's do this. I think we've completely fucking derailed here. Like, you wouldn't even know this is a music show at this point. You'd be like, this is
No.
like Fear Factor or something. All right, let's do this. Track breakdown. Track number 1, Bat Out of Hell. What a great name. So right off the bat, if you listen to this track and the whole album, really, the producer took advantage of the stereo effect of this album. There is a ton going on in each ear. It's separated up nicely, which I love. Piano intro, super blazing. My only problem was, and this was really weird because it was like the only time I heard it on the whole album, this opening guitar solo has so much reverb on it, it's almost unlistenable. I mean, it's not, no, it is unlistenable. It ruined the guitar solo. And as I was listening to it, I'm like, oh my God, please don't let this be the way this guitar is going to sound on the whole album because I can't do this. But surprisingly, the main guitar solo sounded fine. It was great. Like, it didn't sound anything like this. Once the verse kicks in, the production is totally on point. I forgot how great of a singer Meatloaf is. Unbelievable fucking pipes on this guy. The lyrics, I had credited them to Meatloaf because I didn't know, but the lyrics, whoever wrote them, absolutely amazing. They know how to tell a story. And I love the female backing vocals on this track and the entire album. The song's killer. Dave, what do you got?
All right, so we may need the Oscar playoff music for me for some of these.
Okay.
So I got a lot. So this song, we touched on this before, was originally featured in Jim Steinman's Peter Pan-inspired 1977 unfinished musical Neverland, which was finally completed in 2018 and renamed Bat Out of Hell. So we got a great opening, some piano fire here, accomplished by 2 tracks of acoustic piano along with organ and tubular bells. The rest of the band kicks in, and we're treated to some cool lead guitar from Todd Rundgren. The reverb did not bother me.
In the beginning, that first solo, you didn't think
Yeah,
that
it was all
like,
right.
oh, it was so echoey.
I mean, I wouldn't have necessarily pick that tone if I was playing it, but it's fine.
Okay.
We get into the main part of the song at almost the 2-minute mark. The lyrics are very evocative and paint a wild picture. The song was highly inspired by teen tragedy songs of previous years, like Leader of the Pack, and keep with the common elements like motorcycles and girls. The writer's aim was reportedly to write the most extreme crash song of all time. Job well done. We hit the first chorus at about the 3-minute mark. The song is so great and multi-layered, even though I've heard it a million times, I can still hear new things. Some great bass playing and lots of subtle background vocals. Notably, E Street Band musicians Max Weinberg plays drums, as well as Roy Bittan playing some piano for this track. Not sure exactly what he played, since Roy, Todd Rundgren, and Jim Steinman are all credited with keys on this song. So yeah, we got some triple dueling pianos there. About 6 minutes in, we hear the motorcycle, which was insisted upon by Jim Steinman. He wanted to use a real one, but Todd Rundgren just made the sound with his guitar. Meatloaf said one of the most mind-blowing moments in his life was watching him play that guitar solo, do it in one take. And in 15 minutes, he played the lead solo and went back to did the harmony guitars at the beginning.
And then at 15 minutes in, You get the. Sorry, I couldn't help but laugh.
Yeah,
Six and a
that's
half
all right.
minutes in, I was like, "Holy shit!" So you did you gave this one a little bit more thorough of a listening than the Linkin Park album, I'm guessing. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
Um,
a lot easier to listen.
yeah, listening to Linkin Park, I'm like, so Dave, what were your thoughts? He's like, next. Okay.
Yeah.
Ed,
So
what do you got?
I got some more.
Oh, you
Sorry.
got more. Oh, sorry. I thought you
Yeah.
were done in 6 minutes. Keep going.
Nope.
Kind of like the song. I got some more. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Holy shit.
So after the solo, the lyrics detail the main character tearing up the road faster than any other boy has ever gone, and the inevitable, and I never see the sudden curve till it's way too late. And then the crash. Music changes again, and the lead character basically narrates his demise. The speed ramps back up, and Meat hits some strong high notes to ramp up the feeling right at the end.
Are you calling him meat? I like that.
I did.
You know, it'd be awesome if Dave was playing this out like Rocky Horror Picture Show, like running around his room. Nice. That was very thorough breakdown of that track.
Thanks.
Yeah, if you do a live action
That's what I'm
descriptions.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like a couple of like a couple of fucking Matchbox cars, and then he like swerved around the corner. Okay. Ed, go ahead.
I will not be that detailed. However, so Desi, you mentioned the opening guitar tones.
Yes.
I also was fascinated by the opening guitar tones, but in a different way, because right off the bat, I thought it was specifically done because it kind of sounds futuristic to me. Like just it like not for a guitar so much as they were trying to go for like a futuristic type of sound, like move you into here's the setting. And that's just kind of what I got from it. But then that intense piano is just fucking nuts in the beginning. But the long intro, it sets the tone for if you didn't know that this was all musicals in a soundtrack for a musical. Oh my god, it's literally the opening of a show where you just play a little bit of everything. Which, you know what? It worked for me. There are so many songs on this album that as long as they don't feel that long. This one though, what kind of bugged me about it is there are a couple spots where all of a sudden like, oh, the song's over, and then boom, it goes again, and you're like, wait, what?
Oh,
and it just didn't flow. There wasn't a good enough flow. But again, because I kept listening to it, and the more I listened to it, the more I literally was watching the musical in my head. I'm like, oh, okay, so here's just the live action that's going with it. So by the time I got to listen to it, I'm like, okay, this works for me. I like it. Love it. And the bass line. Oh my god, the bass line throughout this. Kudos to that dude for writing for scoring this, because the bass line in this and basically the whole album is just fantastic. All over the place. Tons of non-root notes and not even going to the root note sometimes. I just loved it.
yeah. And I couldn't even like focus on the music because the lyrics and the vocals were so good that
good.
I was just locked in. Like, this is one of the only albums I've ever listened to that is literally just completely based on top of the fucking lyrics and the vocals.
Yeah.
Like, the music's an afterthought, as good as it is. So
I don't disagree, but I do want to say, like you, I forgot how good Meatloaf's voice is. Holy shit.
yeah,
Oh, it is. Yeah. It is gold.
it's a 3-inch New York strip. Okay, it goes for days. Pete, what do you got?
Okay.
no.
I fucking knew it, right? I fucking knew it. All week I'm going, Ed's going to love this because it's a fucking musical all week. And that's what I was saying. I was like, if it was any other type of music, he'd be like, the song's too fucking long, cut it by 9 minutes, you know? But no, all fucking week I'm going, Ed's going to love this. And I'm like, God damn it. I'm just going to read you guys my notes on this and we'll, take it from there. Killer intro. Love the jam. You guys know I love jam bands. And I was like, holy shit. What have I been missing with this guy? Best minute 50 seconds of music fucking ever, in my opinion. Like, this is fucking good on this intro. My next note. What the fuck happened? Now it's the worst part of Elton John. Just piano and voice. I fucking hate this. And that's the next 9 minutes of song or whatever this is. Like, I mean, this song is just, don't get me wrong. It's okay. It's good. Like, it has good parts and stuff, but man, just stick with that jam. Let Fish do this song and get rid of all the other bullshit in there. And let me eat a goo ball and go see them at the Sphere and call it good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I absolutely
don't like-
love that intro, Jim.
I don't like when he goes
Absolutely.
Elton John on this album. I wish those are the only times when I actually hear like that heavy Elton John fucking influence. I'm like, no, Meatloaf, don't be that. Be Meatloaf.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for me, these overextended arrangements, they're what killed the album for me. Like even my favorite song on this album, it's like he's repeating this amazing part over and over, but it's just too much. It's like just cut it in half and it's a better song, you know? All right, number 2. You took the words right out of my mouth. What an amazing intro, leading into an absolutely iconic song. Meatloaf is like the dark, dirty version of Elton John or Billy Joel, who are some of the best storytellers in music. We again get a song built on top of the lyrics. And these are absolutely amazing vocals, from the lead vocal to the brutally great female backing vocal. I mean, brutally good. This woman's voice is enhancing Meatloaf to another level and enhancing this entire album to another level. Again, gives me a story I can sink my teeth into. The arrangement is amazing, and the choice to go a cappella at the end over the hand claps, perfect. I fucking love this song. Dave, what do you got?
Yeah, the spoken intro is known as Hot Summer Night. It's performed by Jim Steinman, and I found conflicting information who the lady was who did the spoken part, whether it was a different actress or it was Ellen Foley who did the backup vocals. I've seen different information, but this was taken from the Neverland musical, where it was used as an exchange of wedding vows in the story. So the music kicks in and it's perfect. The instrumental part has its own melody. The music, according to Jim Steinman, is inspired by a combination of The Who and Phil Spector. And in Meatloaf's biography, he asked Jim to write a song that was not 15 or 20 minutes long, that was more of a pop song. Roy and Max from the Springsteen Band also play on this one. Great Spector-style drums and percussion, and more detailed lyrics. I think the lyric writing ability here is definitely underrated for Jim Steinman. And I also wanted to shout out the background singers who contributed greatly to the sound of the album. Ellen Foley is the female voice. She had previously worked with the duo of Jim and Meatloaf. She has later released her own albums, sung on other people's, and even was an actor on Night Court. She is not the girl in the videos or in live appearances of the time. That lady is Carla DeVito, who was brought in for the videos and tour since Ellen was not available at the time after the album was recorded. And the other main background singer was a Canadian gentleman named Rory Dodd, who later was known for singing with Bonnie Tyler on the song Total Eclipse of the Heart. Coincidentally, also written and produced by Jim Steinman. He's the guy that sings "Turn Around."
Nice.
He's that guy.
Nice.
He has sung on albums for huge artists from Barbra Streisand to Bon Jovi, and has also done voiceover work. So I think he's a very also underrated part of the sound of this album. And those backups.
I love Total Eclipse of the Heart. What a great song. Dave, I really wish that I didn't know that that's not fucking Meatloaf going, would you give your little to the wolf with the red rose in its mouth? That shit is so cool.
I can imagine it's Meatloaf.
But I imagine it's Carla and Meatloaf. Like, I don't want to know that it's not them. Okay.
Well, it's the guy that wrote the song, so, you know.
Okay. All right. Ed, what do you got?
God. Huge song. Absolutely. I agree, Des. This is an iconic song. The opening dialogue is haunting. It really doesn't work for me. It annoyed the shit out of me. Yeah, it bothered me so much. it was just, I get it. Like I said, listening to it so much, it fits the story, so I don't think it shouldn't be there. But for me, it was a personal, just, I didn't like it. But the music, man, that music is awesome. And I want to thank Bruce Springsteen, specifically the E Street Band, because they wrote that fucking fantastic piece. I don't care. Jim can say all he wants that he wrote it. That is the E Street Band, 100% off the Born to Run album. Like, and what sucks is once that clicked in my brain, I could not unhear it. And it wrecked so much for me. Really did. Because I love this song. I still love it. But knowing how huge the band sounds, it's the E Street Band the whole time. That's just my opinion. But I hope this song is played on the radio till the day I die because I love it.
Speaking of the E Street Band, we have got to do Bruce's big album, the big one. You know, like we got to do it. Like, I haven't listened to it in a while, but I know it's just chock full of hits. You know. Fee, talk about this track. What do you think? You like it? You hate it?
Look, Meatloaf the musical part 2. So like right off the bat, it just knocks it down a bunch. But the chorus is super fucking hooky, you know, like super catchy and everything, which is cool. But I'm with Ed on this intro. I was like, my note on the intro is just get rid of it. Like,
what?
I bet you say that to all the boys.
Crack?
Fuck off. Like,
you
stop.
guys smoking
just
crack? What the fuck?
And I wish they put some more of that jam part in there, like jamming out at the end instead of clapping out and repeating the chorus, you know? Like, I wish they kind of put some more of that, like, jam, like on the intro to Bat Out of Hell in there. I don't know. I think it would have been a better song with that. But it was okay, you know? Like, I didn't hate it. The only part I really hated of it was that intro. I couldn't fucking stand that intro.
When hell runs out of room, the dead will walk the earth. I suppose you fucking hate that line too, right? We should take that out of Dawn of the Dead. Okay. Fucking Christ. Dave, how great is that intro? Come on.
It's fucking great.
It's fucking great.
It sets up a mood.
Dude,
it set a mood all right.
Listen,
not the one you wanted, but yeah.
It sets a mood that's completely opposite of what the music comes in at.
Dude, I was fucking...
Like, the music is big and bright, and it's this, like, cheesy guy in a cape and, you know,
it's
the
so
fog
good.
Machine's going, and he's, you know,
I would tattoo that. I would tattoo that on my rib cage. Okay, I would tattoo that whole fucking intro on my rib cage. It's fucking that good. Yeah, it's that good. Okay,
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Let's do it. Will you pay? I'll go tomorrow. Okay. Jesus. And I think I would do it with like a wolf head with a red rose in its mouth, like a werewolf. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. All right. At 53, I think that'd be a great idea. Okay, number 3, Heaven Can Wait. This one felt very Elton John to me in a bad way. This is one of the 2 tracks for me that I don't love it. Meatloaf did sound great on this track, though. He sang great, and the lyrics, they're really good. They give me the feels. I mean, it definitely touches my mood button, but it just didn't feel like it belonged on Bat Out of Hell. You know what I mean? But it's good. It's a good track. Dave.
Well, we have some piano and some delicate horn to open this one. The vocal comes right in, much more mellow and subdued overall than the previous 2 tracks. It's one of the shorter songs on the album, and it's also one of the songs that was originally part of the Neverland musical. As a side note, Bette Midler sang a demo of this song in 1972, available on YouTube. I'm not crazy about the musical arrangement there, but she allegedly asked Jim Steinman, "What the fuck is this song about?"
Oh, shit.
So that was pretty funny.
What was it about?
I don't know. It's just up open to your interpretation.
I don't know. Okay. I do know one thing. I do not want to see the Neverland musical. Ed, go.
Yeah, I'm with you, Des. So you said this hit your emotional button. Did it also hit your mommy daddy button?
It did. It did. I don't know why it touched me, but I thought the lyrics were great. And almost every lyric on this whole album touched me. I thought it was really good.
Can you show us on this doll where it touched you? Nice.
Okay.
For those, since they can't see, Des just stood up and just about took out his junk.
Yeah. It's okay.
Heaven Can Wait. All right. It's a ballad. I didn't love it. I did love the musical composition to it, though. I found the layers of music very enjoyable. And at the same time, the chords of the composition moved me, Des.
Yeah, it did. It's moving.
Okay. However, I feel like I'm watching a tiny dancer perform.
Yeah.
See where I went there?
Yeah. I did too. I did too. Yeah, and you know what's funny? This one kind of had that same thing that the Welcome to My Nightmare had. Like, there was no bad music on it. Like, whether it was
Oh, God.
whether it was my cup of soup or not, I could still identify it as fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
like
the musical composition is fantastic on this album.
And
the singing, everything about it is good. It's more just overall like a song you're just like, because it's either huge or it's just,
Yeah. I mean, there are no bad vocals on this, and that's just what it is. Fee, what do you got?
I think it's funny you say there are no bad vocals on this. Like, I don't necessarily think it's a bad vocal, but I think I like a grittier vocal, you know?
Yes.
Then I think Meatloaf's kind of clean, you know? Like a little too clean for my liking. And I guess it's kind of in a show tune type of way. You got to be a little bit cleaner, right? Like, isn't that kind of the key for that? But no, I'll just read this because I wasn't too far off on this, but I was a little. I just wrote great the ballad, and these three fuckholes will love this and talk about how emotional it is.
Nice.
But I felt 5 minutes was even a little too long because I think I would have liked the song a lot if it was like a pop friendly, like 3 minutes tops on this. You know what I mean? Like, I think I really would have liked it, but just okay. You know?
Oh God, that's funny, fuckholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I think that Meatloaf has a very interesting voice. It's like, it's thick, it's heavy, it's like, it feels confident. It's like, it's different than any voice I've heard. It's not low, it's not high. It's just, like I said, like a 3-inch cut New York strip. It's just full of fucking, I love it. All right, track number 4, all revved up with No Place to Go. So we get some brass here, and you know I love the brass, and it worked for me here. I just thought it was fucking fabulous. This is the first time the music started kind of peaking to me over the vocals. The bass, friggin' great on this track. We get another really strong chorus. Perfect amount of piano drizzled into this song. It's not pushed up. I thought the production on this whole album was great, aside from that one weird guitar track in the first minute of the album. And the only thing I did also notice a little later in the album, they kind of lost control of the drum sound. I think it's towards the end, maybe even the last song where it gets like distorted. And there were a couple of spots on this album where the drums kind of came in and out of tune a little bit. I don't know if it was because they used 2 drummers and they were like, you know what I mean? Like, they get locked in on one sound and then have to go to the other kit. I don't know. It's just, I noticed a problem with some of the drum production, but overall, great production on the album, especially for 1977. And what they really got right was the way they recorded all these vocals, man. Holy fuck. It's unreal. It's unreal. Again, it feels like this could be a soundtrack to a movie, and I don't mean that in a bad way. So, Dave, what do you got on this one?
This is the third of the songs on this album that were originally part of the Neverland musical. Edgar Winter plays the sax solos of Frankenstein fame.
Nice.
Great bass playing throughout the album, but stands out on this song, courtesy of Kasim Sultan from Rundgren's group Utopia.
Nice.
The song stays mid-tempo through almost the whole thing until the end, when it kicks into overdrive and the energy goes way up. Good.
All right. Ed, what'd you think of this one?
This is literally what I wrote. I have no idea how to describe this song. It's another great composition, but I hear so much Springsteen and Rundgren in the music, I'm kind of getting frustrated.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't get a lot of Bruce Springsteen E Street Band out of this. I mean, it had the same flavor with like, saxophone, but it didn't feel like that to me at all. Like I never once in my mind popped out there was an E Street Band influence. If anything, it was all Elton John that I heard when he wasn't doing Meatloaf in air quotes. Like when he strayed away from that Meatloaf sound, it was Elton John. Fee.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that, Des. 100%. I heard that exactly the same way. I'll blow it right here, guys. This was my favorite song on the album. I don't
Oh,
know.
really?
I
What?
I kind of like
Dude.
this one. Um, yeah, I don't
His
know.
favorite
That
song
sax
in the
playing
album?
was killer. But I still don't know why. Like I just don't get excited by the vocals on this. Like I just don't. I don't know why. It's just still too like
Bizarre.
show tune for me. Like I felt like this could be like a track in like Grease or something like that. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
totally, dude.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what this is. It's Grease. It's like we've already said. It's exactly
Yeah.
what it is.
And don't get me wrong,
Oh.
I wanted to go in giving this thing like a 4, because like hearing a musical, like listening to a musical all week is fucking punishment for me. But coming around,
Dude,
I mean,
this album was a very easy listen for me. Very easy
Yeah.
listen. Driving to work,
Oh.
no problem getting through this one.
yeah,
I mean-
this was like Dave on the Linkin Park album. Like for me, like this was hard. This was hard.
Yeah. There were
But-
2 tracks, like I said, that I could have done without, but they were fine.
Yeah.
So playlist, throw it away, erase it.
Not playlist, but above average. Like this was
Okay.
a pretty good one. I don't know. I just enjoyed this one the most throughout the week.
Okay. All right. So that quickly ends side A, a very brief jaunt through the first half of this musical. Guys, anything happen to you this week you'd like to discuss or disclose? Anybody get any test results back or anything?
Nothing I can legally discuss.
Okay. Well, I know everybody wants to hear bullshit, so I've got a funny little story. I mean, it's stupid. It'll take 2 seconds. It's from years ago. I was painting in a complex down in Weymouth I talk about all the time called Queen Anne's Gate. And I worked on a crew, with some characters that worked on this crew that were possibly dangerous. And one of the guys' name, I'll just give you his nickname, was Reaper. His nickname was the Reaper, and he was a very dangerous individual, not someone to be fucked with. Very large, very scary. And he had worked hard, and he had bought this brand new car, and he brought it into work. It was like a white Riviera. It was like his first day with it. He was so proud of it, so excited about it. And I had asked him if I could borrow it to go home on lunch. And we were working in Weymouth, and I was living in Braintree at the time. And he was like, yeah. He's like, sure. He was going to stay with his buddy. They were going to eat lunch on the site, and I was going to run home in his car. So it was an automatic. I got in and I drove it from Weymouth all the way to Braintree. And I get out of the car at my house, and the fucking front tire was glowing red. I mean, like the sun. So the emergency brake had been on the entire time. I drove it all the way home with the emergency brake on. True story. I fucking shit my pants. I panicked because this guy he will kill you. Like, and not even think twice about it. He was not a guy to be fucked with, like I said. So I panicked and I got a bucket of water and I threw it on the red hot tire, and it made this noise that went crack, like so loud, like a baseball bat. And I went in, I got my stuff, I got back in the car, I drove it back. He never said a word. So I don't know. Fun story. There you go. Okay.
Oh man, never do that.
Never dump water on a fucking glowing hot piece of steel.
Yes, a piece of metal. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I say I dodged a bullet there, but yeah, you never had any idea that happened. Okay. Number 5, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So come on, guys. This is a fucking powerful song. Meatloaf delivers an absolutely iconic vocal here with amazing lyrics. He sings them like a fucking champ on this. And again, whoever wrote these lyrics, they can really write some great lyrics. Like this. I know you're looking for a ruby in a mountain of rocks, but there ain't no Coupe de Ville hiding at the bottom of a Cracker Jack box. That shit is fucking brilliant. I love that. When that popped up, I was like, stop, rewind, listen again. Awesome. Write it down. Dave, what do you got?
Yeah, that's all Jim. This song was written in direct response to actress Mimi Kennedy asking Jim Steinman whether he could write a simple song like Elvis Presley's I Want You, I Need You, I Love You. This is what he came up with, sort of a damaged love song. It spent 23 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100, peaking at number 11 and earning a million selling gold single from the RIAA, eventually being certified platinum. It remains his second highest charting hit in the U.S. behind 1993's "I'd Do Anything for Love, but I Won't Do That."
Wow, I can't believe how Paradise by the Dashboard Light is being fucking dissed. What the fuck?
Right?
It's one of the greatest songs ever written. Ed, what do you got? Look at Fee just grabbed his head.
Uh-oh.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I love this song. 2 out of 3 Ain't Bad is such a great song. Beautiful soft piano opening, and then that simple, deep bass little boom boom. Oh, I fucking love it.
So good.
Comes in, the band starts off softly playing. Meatloaf's vocals are smooth as silk on this song. Then you get to the chorus, and what a hook. Everything about the song's perfect, in my opinion. This is an absolute masterpiece with so many layers, and the bass line is just another epic composition.
Nice. Dude, can you guys imagine if that tire had caught on fire and that car burnt up?
Boy.
That would have been something like out of an 80s movie.
Dude, well, that's why I threw the water on it. I mean, it was glowing to the point where I thought the tire was going to start burning. Hey, dude, I'm not going to make it back. Your car's on fire. Okay, Fee, go ahead.
Oh shit. Man, I'll start with this. I hate this fucking song. I can't even listen to it. I can't even fucking listen to
I
it.
don't understand.
The lyrics are fucking stupid. Like, it talks about how she treats him so fucking cold, and then he's like, I want you, I need you, but I'll never love you, so don't be sad. She would never be sad. She wants you to fucking leave. Get the fuck out, dude. Like, these lyrics are fucking terrible. They make no fucking sense to me, but I don't get it. But overall, I mean, it's not like, if I'm giving it the Ed listen and not analyzing lyrics on this, it's a good song. You know, it's okay. But I hate it. I've heard it too many times. I don't like it.
I completely disagree.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Then you're going to love the next song.
Oh, boy. My wife asked me why I come downstairs and change my shirt so often. I told her. So now every time I come down to change my shirt, she goes, all right, let's just move on. Paradise by the Dashboard Light, track number 6. Sorry. So this is a 110 watt song. I am going to put an extra small tube in the amp to push that extra 10 watts. These are some of my favorite lyrics ever and performed to absolute perfection. Ellen Foley is a fucking beast on this song. She holds her own with Meatloaf, no problem. And honestly, her flavor and inflection is what makes this song so unbelievably good. You put a different female vocal behind this guy, and this song is not what it is. She is fucking incredible. Reminds me of like some like tough New York chick. It's so good. And everything from Phil Rizzuto's call forward is as good as rock and roll gets. This whole section from the play call to the end is the best sex you ever had. It's a hot fudge sundae with Oreo ice cream, hot fudge, whipped cream, and a fucking hot dog. It's great. Dave, what do you got?
Well, this is the greatest rock duet right here. The song was written for the album. Max Weinberg is back on the drums for this track. Fun and optimistic beginning, nostalgic looking back in time leads to the second section, where the backseat action is happening, marked with an abrupt change to a disco-y feel, with moaning sound effects and a play-by-play by the famous baseball announcer Phil Rizzuto, who would later claim he was not aware of the suggestive connotations of the song. Just when the main character is about to reach home plate, Ellen Foley's famous "Stop Right There" halts the action and demands a pledge of love before things can continue. The main guy gives in and does so, and then things fall apart. Here's the wiki description of the end, because it was written better than I could write. But back in the present, both characters express how each can no longer stand the other. Remaining true to the vow he made on that night in the past, he is now praying for the end of time to arrive and relieve him from his obligation.
Jesus Christ, I know
Yeah.
how he feels.
Well, this was played by the DJ at my high school prom.
Yep.
I'm
And we
sure
just lost another female listener. Yeah.
My wife.
Your wife. Yeah.
I'm sure also at many other proms and weddings. And bonus facts, I played guitar in a band at college where we played this song in a show. We had a guy and a girl singer lined up for this song, and it was great. Wish I had a tape of it.
Nice. Ed, what do you got?
Yeah, it's so funny, Dave. I broke the song out the exact same way. And honestly, because I'm like, it sounds like it's a couple different songs. And until I read that it was actually written specifically like that, I never put two and two together. But my God, who hasn't heard this song? I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone on the planet has heard it. Doesn't matter where you are. The groove, the opening guitar, it is iconic. Everything about it. And I love that disco bass line. It is so good. But it's just, oh God, I lost my fucking train of thought. I actually have a pretty funny story. We were, my wife and I were at a wedding. Of course, the song was being played.
See?
And one of her coworkers was extremely drunk and decided to do the entire baseball scene live on the dance floor, where like he was running around to people, like groping people, and then literally went from one corner of the dance floor and ran and dove head first right across the dance floor. It was the funniest thing I had ever seen. And then he just laid down for like the next 10 minutes.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Epic time. It was probably one of the most fun weddings I've ever been to.
Oh God, dude! At my wedding, our mutual friend Rich was my best man, and he
Which
gave
wedding?
my second wedding to my
Okay.
present wife, and
I was at your first wedding.
that was a good one. That was when I married the stripper, and it was
stripper,
just cocaine and drugs and booze and blowjobs and what a
strippers
wedding!
everywhere.
What a wedding. It was really good. Second wedding was a little more conservative. It was a lot of family members and really uptight people, and Rich giving the best man speech. Dude, he starts it off with this. So here we are again. My wife's family didn't think that was funny. And he went on to talking about us losing our virginity the same day and fucking girls. And it was outrageous. I love it. I love Rich. He's great. And that speech will go down in infancy. I mean, to fucking have the balls to start off with that. Here we are again. God, I love him. Okay. Pete, what do you got?
Yeah, so good. I'll tell you, I mean, briefly, and I know, Ed, I shared this story with you before. You may or may not remember it, but the best wedding I've ever attended was where the groom got chokeslammed by the best man on the dance floor. And my buddy and I ended up having to drive the bride back from Portland to Las Vegas. It's fucking great times. Yeah, so good. The groom got so shit-faced that he fucking freaked out about stuff, and his best man had to put him down for the night and fucking chokeslammed him right on a cement dance floor. It was so good. Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
So
fucking
good. Best wedding
man.
ever. And I still tell her about it every time I see her. I'm like, your wedding was so awesome. Yeah.
Weddings are great.
She's like,
I
go
love
fuck
weddings.
yourself. But this song is it a good song? Sure. Can I listen to it again? No. I never want to hear this fucking song again. When it comes on the radio, I want to drive off a fucking cliff. I can't. I fucking hate it. I've never really liked it. I understand why people do, but I've never liked this fucking song. Every time it came on in a bar or a club or whatever, I walked out the fucking door. I can't do this. 8 minutes and 28 seconds this week I spent listening to this one fucking time, and I will never listen to this another fucking second again in my life. I fucking hate this song.
What you need to understand, when Fee says he will walk out, he actually will walk out.
Yeah.
I've been places where all of a sudden I'm like, where'd Fee go? And he left. I'm like, what? And we're like,
Yeah.
I mean, God, we were just in Vegas. He got upset because we were watching the Celtics game. The Celtics weren't playing good. They were still winning. He lost it, blew a gasket, and left.
Fucking gone. Fuck you guys. Yep.
He was so angry, and we're like, where are you going? He's like, fuck this. The Celtics don't deserve for me to watch them.
Yep. They don't deserve my eyes. Fuck them.
I wish he lived in Boston. I would like to get to know him more on a personal level. I think that it would be like, you ever see The Odd Couple? It wouldn't be that. It would be Felix and Felix. It'd be
Exactly.
It'd be like Felix and Felix. I'd be like, dude, you got a little spot of mustard on your cheek there.
Yep.
Okay. Shit. So my only problem with this song is that it wasn't the last song on the album. This was a huge mistake, having track 7, for crying out loud, close the show. This should not have been the last song on Bat Out of Hell. It should have been track 6, but it wasn't. So we have to talk about it. And I'm going to start it off. I wish this had been track 6 and the album had ended with Paradise by the Dashboard Light. But with that being said, Meatloaf is singing his heart out on this track. The words and vocals are like an unhinged Elton John. I was happy it rocked out at the end, but the drums got really distorted on this. Like, I don't know what happened. And it went on way too long. I didn't love this track, and I also didn't love track 3. They both had too much Elton John feel to me. I liked everything else on the album better. These songs didn't suck, but they just weren't for me, and I didn't feel like they belonged on Bat Out of Hell, which was my problem with them. And this one specifically, its position on the album as the last song. Dave, what do you got?
We're back to a mellow ballad for our final song. Begins as just piano and vocal. Milo's voice sounds especially on and powerful here. But about 3.5 minutes in, we get some strings credited to members of the New York Philharmonic and Philadelphia Orchestra, and then some bass and later drums, yes, which were very overloaded. I don't know what happened there, but pulls back quiet again and builds to the dramatic ending.
Yeah. And what did you think about its positioning on the album? Did you have a problem with this being the last song?
It's kind of a down note to end the album on, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Dashboard's the one, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's, I can definitely see that.
Yeah. I want to rinse my mouth out with that at the end. Ed, what do you got?
Yeah, it does. I feel the same. However, I feel like because it's a story and it's a musical, this is a song that's playing behind the credits.
Perfect.
And that's why they ended it this way. If it wasn't on purpose for that reason, yeah, it's just, I could have lived without the 2 ballads on this. Just not my thing.
All right. Fee, final song. I never know. You could be like, I love this song. It's on my playlist now. What do you got?
No, definitely not. But I'm kind of with Dave on this, though. Like, I felt this was the best vocal on the album for me anyway. It was not that Dave felt that way, but I felt that this was kind of like the most powerful vocal on the album. Like, I felt this a lot more than I did any of the other vocals on here. Did anyone get an Elvis feel on this? I felt like there was an Elvis influence on this, but I don't know. Just me. Either way, too long. The last 3-4 minutes were just completely unnecessary. They could have accomplished the same thing, you know? So
the last 3 or 4 minutes, he says, yeah, I'll be honest with you. By the time I got to like 2 minutes into this song, I was not even focused anymore, like on what it sounds like. This little Elvis. I was just like, oh man, I want this to end. All right. So we broke this album down. I think we did it. And now it is time to release the bonus track. This week's bonus track was requested by one Fred F. of the Bedrock area. He writes, I'd love to hear you guys review Born to Run by the Boss. All right, so, oh boy, the Boss. I am a huge fan of Bruce Springsteen. He is a top 5 storyteller in my book. Few do it better. Maybe Billy Joel, but the Boss does it. He's written some of the most iconic songs ever and some of the best choruses I have ever heard. So many, you can't even count them all. And this one is no different. It's a total banger, perfectly written, perfectly performed, incredible band, smash hit. It's pushing 98.9 watts. It's fucking killer, and it's not even close to his best song. Dave, what do you got?
Yeah, press at the time compared Meatloaf's album to Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run album. Maybe unfairly, the sharing of band members didn't help to dissuade that. The difference here is Bruce sings about real life stuff, where Meatloaf is sort of alternate reality fantasy, not really rooted in the real world. I'm from New Jersey. We get issued a set of Springsteen albums at birth. He mentions the palace in the song. They used to exist in Asbury Park. I've been there. It's not there anymore. It's now an empty lot. Great playing on the tracking. You get Spectre influence from the production, and the Bruce's scatting vocal at the end is from Ronnie Spector. Killer song, great lyrics, full production without being too much. How can you not love? 'Cause tramps like us, baby, we were born to run. My score's 96.
Nice. Fun fact for the fans. So I have actually seen Dave at the pool taking off his bathing trunks. And on his left ass cheek, he has got Born in the USA. And on the right cheek, he has Slippery When Wet. This is true. Ed, what do you got?
God almighty.
It's not true. It's not true. Okay.
Oh, God.
It might be by next week.
Yeah.
He's like, I like that idea. Lisa, I got a birthday present.
You know what? I am not a huge Bruce Springsteen fan, but I love specific songs by him. And this just so happens to be my favorite song by Bruce Springsteen. It is just everything about it hits me in all the right spots, especially in the Mommy Daddy button. So, yeah,
Nice.
this is actually a 100-watt song for me.
Nice. Dude, no, you can't even complain with that. It is a 100-watt song. It is. But I was leaving just a little bit of room in case we did one of the other ones, you know?
Yeah.
Fee, what do you got on this one?
Man, I fucking love this. No one tells the story like the Boss, whom I will be seeing tomorrow night at T-Mobile Arena.
Ooh.
So fucking looking forward to that. Can't wait to hear this. I'm with Ed. 100-watt song. Love this fucking song.
This is number one song. This is going to be it, right?
Gotta be.
Okay. Ed, please calculate those scores. And how dare anybody compare the fucking Springsteen album to that Bat Out of Hell album? I mean, they're on completely different levels.
Nope. Yep.
All right. So the bonus track, Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, is pushing what may possibly be record-breaking 98.72 watts.
Wow. And Dave, where does that land on the Breaking Wall of Fame?
We have a new number one on the bonus track chart.
Nice, the Boss.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bruce is at the top, topping David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust. And
yeah, I mean,
P.S. I'm ashamed I gave this the lowest score out of all you motherfuckers.
I'm surprised, dude. Since you are Fred Flintstone, I'm surprised. Wow. Yeah. What a great song. You know what's funny too? I never realized what an amazing lead guitar player Bruce Springsteen is. Like, you don't think think of him as like a lead guitar player, kind of like that Prince thing. Like, people just think of him as a singer and a songwriter. You don't realize what a great lead player was. I was watching a live Bruce Springsteen show and he starts ripping this solo on that fucking blonde fucking Telecaster. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Springsteen rips? Yes, Springsteen rips, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, he can play.
Oh, he can play. I love him in fucking High Fidelity with John Cusack. Have you guys seen the movie? He has a cameo in that. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. He's giving fucking Cusack advice while he's like sitting on an amp, kind of like just playing his fucking Telecaster in his bedroom. It's really cool. Okay, let's do some favorite songs we cut. You know the fucking routine. My favorite song was Paradise by the Dashboard Light. The song I would cut would be For Crying Out Loud. I would remove one Todd Rundgren, not off production, but off of guitar. And I would replace him with one Dick Wagner, who played lead guitar on Alice Cooper's Welcome to My Nightmare. I think he would have added a real nice edge to this album. Dave, what do you got?
My favorite track is You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth. And I would cut For Crying Out Loud. And I don't know, for replacements, no replacements needed, but we could have Max Weinberg play drums on the entire album instead of the few tracks that have John Willie Wilcox from Todd Rundgren's band. Or we could replace Edgar Winter's sax. Nothing wrong with it. It's great. But, we could bring in the big man, Clarence Clemens.
Oh, no. You know who I'd bring in? I'd bring in the guy with the mullet and the purple pants and the tan from
Jesus
fucking Lost Boys. Okay, that's who I'd
Tim
bring in on
Capello.
saxophone. Yeah, give me Tim Capello on fucking, put $1 bill in his pants. Ed, what do you got?
Des, I'm with you. Favorite song, Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. Track I would cut, For Crying Out Loud, just like you and Dave. I would replace everyone who is not in the E Street Band and just put the E Street Band behind Meatloaf.
It's okay.
Nice.
I think that would be a great combination.
Yeah, better album for sure. Fee, what do you got on this gem?
You guys are going to think I like flip the script here, but no. My favorite song was All Revved Up. I don't know. Kind of liked it. I would cut Paradise because I never want to fucking hear that song again, ever. Not one fucking second, not one fucking note. Cut
I
it.
cannot wait until we have a long drive. I am
going to drive off a fucking cliff,
On
Ed.
repeat.
Fucking cliff.
All these songs that you're like, I hope I never fucking hear this.
Fee looks like a cat you're trying to put in the bathtub while he's trying to get out of the car.
Right.
It'll be a mix of Paradise by the Dashboard Lights in the Hoobastank album.
And
God.
Dogs D'Amour on a loop.
And Dogs
Yeah.
D'Amour.
No, because we'll both jump out of the truck then. Yeah. No, you don't want to do that.
You guys need to give that another listen.
No, I don't. I'm replacing Meatloaf because I just didn't enjoy his vocal too much on this. I'm putting in Elvis Presley. Fuck it. I like Elvis. I want to hear
It's
Elvis.
imaginative. It's imaginative. Okay, let's wrap this fucking bitch up. Fucking
We're reviewing
Elvis.
Meatloaf, and he's getting rid of Meatloaf.
And replacing him with Elvis Presley.
With
Fucking perfect. Hey, stop right there. I gotta know right now.
Now we're
Do you love
talking.
me?
Now we're cooking.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty good. All right. All right, let's do some final thoughts. We'll give it a score. We'll book it. So my final thoughts for a 45-minute rock opera is pretty much as good as it gets. 2 tracks I don't really care for, but overall, this is an important, iconic album with one of the best songs ever recorded, a Dashboard Light. So for me, this album is pushing 81.9 watts. It's a good album. I probably wouldn't pull it out and listen to it again anytime soon, but give it the respect it deserves. Dave, what do you got?
Jim Steinman was quoted as saying, "I wanted to make an album that sounded like a movie. Mission accomplished." Jim Gerard was an early fan and included the following in his article from The Scene magazine in 1977, which sums this up pretty good. All these songs were about lust, love, innocence, and frustration. Some people called them terminally teenage. It's great. Everybody in the 70s and the 80s had this album. My score is 95.
Wow, that's way too high. Mine was actually a 71.9, but I gave it 10 extra watts for that killer album cover. Ed, what do you got?
You know what? There are 3 absolute iconic songs and a 4th song that's really good in my opinion. All of these songs are still like nothing that's on rock radio. I had a higher score, but I kind of lowered it as the week went on. I started at a 90.1, but I wound up giving it an 80.1.
Ooh, that's 2 weeks in a row with me and you. We've been on a fucking...
I know. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually had it higher too, and I was gonna ask you guys what I gave Welcome to My Nightmare, because I was actually enjoying it more, and then like Ed, as the week went on, it like wilted.
Yeah,
Okay.
it did. It did, the songs that aren't the big ones really just brought everything else down for me.
Yeah, and it was the extended arrangements too. It hurt the fucking album. Fee. Oh boy,
It
here we
didn't
go.
hurt it that much. You guys gave it 80 fucking watts. Like, Jesus. I thought that was
Fee
super high.
Fee looks like he's in an escape room right now. Like Fee, blink twice if you need help.
I do need help. I need help with these fucking scores. Jesus. No.
Shit.
It's all good. I get it. I get why people like it. The style is just not for me. I rated this a lot higher than I thought I was going to rate it, but I just went with, I listened to the song, I gave it a score, added them up. I wound up with 49 watts.
49 watts, so just below average.
Yeah, like I don't ever want to hear this album again. Like, really anything on it. I will never listen to anything on it again if given the choice. Yeah.
I mean, if I listen to these songs again, it'll be like when they pop on the radio, or if I'm listening to 70s Pandora and it pops up, I leave it on listen to it, but I'm not going to load it up. Ed, will you please tell us how many watts this album is pushing?
Alrighty. Meatloaf's Bad Outta Hell is pushing 76.5 watts.
And Dave, where does that land on the Breaking Vinyl chart?
Yeah, that puts us at number 24, just under Fleetwood Mac's Rumors and over Electric by The Cult.
Dang.
I think I'd rather listen to Electric, I gotta be honest with you. Okay, great. So that's it. We've done it. So next week, the pick goes to Beaconstein. Fee, please tell us and the listeners what garbage album we'll be listening to all week.
I don't think this is going to be garbage, and I don't know. I'll just fucking get it over with. In honor of Lou Gramm announcing his retirement, let's do Foreigner's debut. Foreigner. Yes.
Yeah.
So we're doing Foreigner.
Yep. That was released in March of 1977 or 78, something like that. So, yeah.
God. What's the big hit?
Feels Like the First Time.
Oh, that's a good song. It's a good song. I hope there's another one. On there. It's not just that.
Cold as Ice.
Oh, another good one. All right. You may have you piqued my interest here.
Might be okay.
Yeah, right. Those are two good ones. Those are both 80-watt songs anyway. Okay. Yep. This week on Hey, Did You Ever See That Movie, our sister podcast, we will be reviewing Stuber. Okay. So that's it. Until next week, take those records out of the sleeve and let the music breathe. See you next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Later.